Hello, in this demonstration I'm going to show you a method of stretching a cotton canvas over a timber frame and how to fold the corners. We have here is a homemade stretcher, and we're showing here is a rebaited frame. The rebate is to allow the canvas to go across and the canvas to rest on the edge, the outer edge of the frame. So I have a sample here which I can show you. So this is the profile, a section of the timber, but as you can see here there's a kind of rebate. So the canvas is fixed to the bottom, which is the flat surface, and then rolled round the frame, and it rests on the outer edge. That means the canvas is floating above the frame. So I have a canvas here that's supplied by L. Cornelison of London, and I'm going to measure the distances around the frame so I can then cut it. Most important thing is to put the bevel or rebated side flat down onto the canvas. I'll move it to one side so you can see what I'm going to do next. What you're hoping to do is get this canvas to come up round the outer edge, across the flat surface where you put the staples in, and to line up with the inner edge. Now you can measure this distance using a ruler, so you're measuring that distance and the outer edge, and then you're transferring that measurement onto the side of the canvas, up to the canvas, so you can then make a mark. This is where you're going to make the cut. So what I've done to make it easier for the demonstration, and I think probably easier to do this if you're doing a lot of them, is to make a template, which is the distance here on the flat surface and the distance down the side. Put the two together, and this is a bit of MDF. It could be a piece of card if you want. So I'm now going to straighten this up. So I've got a very large piece of canvas here, so it's a bit awkward. So I'm going to line this up with the salvage edge. This is the cut side. It's a machined cut side, so I know it's straight. So I know that if I line it up, it's absolutely right. But as you can see, move it slightly up, it's not quite right there. So I'm going to move the canvas up until it's right, and then down the side, that's correct. So I know that two sides are now correct and the right measurement, so I'm now going to concentrate on the other part of it. So I'm just going to scoot this across, keeping it in the same picture and hopefully not distorting this too much. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a pencil line around the canvas for the scissors to follow. I could just nick this with a pair of scissors and just tear it, or rip it if you want. It does distort the canvas a little bit, but if this was linen you could never do that. It's too tough, so it's best just to stick to scissors. So I'm doing up the other end. Let's move that out of the way. So I'm marking all the way round, and that way you get a really good use out of the canvas, because it's not cheap, so you don't want to waste anything. Put that into the shot a bit better. There. Just get it sorted out. So we know that's correct. We know that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, moved it slightly. That's all right. So, as I said, I'm just going to use a pair of scissors and then just make a cut. Now, I'm going to, I've got one prepared already, so I'm going to just move this out of the way, and we can then get straight to stapling it and putting the pockets in. That's okay. Now, I prepared this earlier to save time. So I'm going to do the same thing just to check that using my pattern it's correct. You could of course put a pencil line around it and centralize it if you so wish. So that is now correct all the way round. So I've checked that it's bevel side down or rebate side down. This is the flat side for the staples to go on. Now this is a reasonably priced staple gun. It's quite good make. To load the staples, it's a press on the side, and the staples flat down into the base of it. So it's flat side down, points up if you wish. Okay, that locks that up. Now when you get it in the box, it's in this kind of shape. So if you press the end, it flicks the lever up. I'll just move that back into shot. Okay, so we're now going to bring the canvas over onto the flat side to staple it. Now this is the handle here is quite a lot, and I do know that some people find this a bit difficult. It's quite a span to squeeze the lever. So if you get a block, spare block of wood, and which is the same height approximately of the frame, if you put the staple gun on top of that, it's very stable and it's rock solid, and all you have to do then is push the lever down. So you're just pushing the lever down. Now I'm going to start in the center. I'm going to bring the canvas up, and just to prove it, I'm going to use the staple gun in the center. I'm just going to put two there, okay, so it doesn't move when I turn it around. So we've done one on this side, and I'm now going to turn it over, or turn it round. So I'll turn the other side of the canvas over. Let's get that back into the picture. A nice good tug is enough. However, if you were going, it's all right on this size of stretcher, but if you were going to do something much bigger, and this is a kind of bespoke homemade stretcher if you like, you could make this twice as big, or even much larger. So you could use the pliers instead of just pulling it. So the pliers lock on there and you just pull it over. So I'm just going to pull it over, and I'm going to put two staples there. Now I'm going to turn it around. So what you're doing is you got 1, 2, and then turn it round and going, this is number 3, so I'm getting it about right. Now you could fold it over, but I mean, you need to get this staple just off the edge, so it's 2/3 in if you wish. And I'll go the other side, and now the canvas is now starting to stretch, and the creases are going to go to the corners. So we flip this over, so give it a really good pull. Pull it that way, pull it that way. Now the staple distance is about 4 to 5 centimeters. You can do it a bit, if it's a much bigger canvas, you could probably do it to 7 centimeters. So now go back to the beginning, and I'm now going to pull the corners so I know it's getting nice and tight and stretched and all the creases are out. So I'm going to put a staple there, and now I'm going to go diagonally across. So I'm going to go diagonally across the other side, do the same thing, make sure it's nice and even. Go back to the beginning of this end and make sure that's really nice and tight, and go diagonally. So right at the beginning again, so I'm going to go the opposite way, opposite diagonal, making sure that I'm giving it a nice tug, and I go diagonally to the opposite side. Now you want to give yourself a bit of space at the ends, so you can then fold the pockets. I'll just do the other side. Okay, so we've now put enough staples in just to do the pocket. Get that into shot. Now I'm going to just pull that to one side, and I'm going to put a couple of staples in there just to hold it. So you want to put your thumb there, and then bring up the pocket or the corner fold, so you get a nice seam down the edge. So just tidy that up, and then we'll do another one. Now you want to keep the folds the same. So I'm going to pull this across, put my thumb on it, and I'm now going to make a fold like a triangle towards the corner of the inside of the stretcher there. Tidy it up. And I'm going to use my finger and thumb to manipulate the canvas so it then lines up with the edge. We'll do this again. So get it pulled up nice and straight so there's no creases in the corner. If you put your thumb on the end here and hold with the other finger, just hold it down, and it is to fold a triangle into the corner. So I'll show you that again. So that's a straight edge there, so you're just folding it over into the corner so it's nice and neat. Bring up the other part of the canvas, manipulate the canvas so you then get the seam nice and neat up the outside edge of the stretcher. Finish off the staple and the last one. So I'm going to just hold the canvas, put my thumb on the end, pull it over towards the corner so you've got this nice angle, lift up the other part of the canvas and then manipulate it so it's nice and neat. So it's as flat as you can get it. The canvas does start to distort a bit. Alright, finish it off. So we're now coming to the end of the demonstration. Just finish off with a few bits. Now this would be a portrait canvas, so in other words it would be up that way, and here if you feel that, if you could feel it, you could feel there's the triangles of the fold, same on the bottom. So you would view this when it's on the wall from the sides, but there's no evidence of any fold, so all you've got is this nice neat seam here, same on the other side, so it all matches up. Turn it that way. Nice, a nice neat seam. That makes it nice and neat for the gallery to show it. Right, the last job is to have a water spray. Now what this does is literally stretches the canvas, and I like to go all the way round. And as soon as it's dried off, it's ready for priming. So it's already gone like a drum. So this ends the demonstration. I hope there's something here for you. Thank you very much for watching.